Who Stole Graceila Greelys' Emerald? By Sophia Lerma. Graceila was a very nice and very rich woman. She had more money than Sam Westing of Westing Paper Products. She had long, blonde, curly hair, and she loved to wear fancy clothes from France. One night, Graceila Greeley checked on her 5-pound emerald stone in a glass box hidden inside her secret safe. The beautiful green stone was important to Graceila because it had been passed down to from her grandmother and had been in her family for 500 years. It was nice and safe. Graceila grabbed her coat and walked out the door to go to the dinner party. 2 hours later, Graceila arrived back home. She went to check on her emerald one more time before bed. She walked over to her hidden safe. It was open and the emerald was gone. Graceila called the police right away. The police came and could not figure out who stole the emerald. "We should call over to a detective," said one of the policemen. Graceila paced the floor, worried about her precious jewel. Detective Sophia Lerma came into the house. Detective Sophia Lerma is wearing a green beret and a green and white checkered dress with long green sleeves. She had short, brown, straight hair. She is very smart, focused, and also very serious. She looks at the open safe and asks Graceila, "Do you know anyone who would want to steal your emerald?" "Well, Jake Devar is the first name that comes to mind. He is my worst enemy, and he would do anything to get back at me. I also know that my maid, Lizzie Livermore, had access to my house. She also needs money for something. She mentioned that to me earlier this week." "Anyone else?" Detective Sophia asked. "Now that you mention it, David Decker did ask me about the emerald tonight. He also asked me where I lived and left the dinner party early. I don't think it was him. He is a good friend of mine." Detective Sophia asked the policeman to bring all 3 suspects to Graceila's house. 30 minutes later, all 3 suspects are in the living room of Graceila Greeley's house. Jake Javar is sitting on the couch. He is angry because he would rather be at home. Jake Javar is a tall man, about 6 feet tall. He has short brown hair and is wearing the black coat that he wears everywhere. He is a grumpy man and very disrespectful to everyone who he comes in contact with. David Decker is standing in the corner of the living room. His 5 feet 2-inch frame hunched over. David has curly brown hair and brown eyes. He is wearing the same clothing he had on at the dinner party. Many people would describe him as quiet and mysterious. He often had conversations with Graceila about how he feels invisible. The last suspect, Lizzie Livermore, is standing next to the coffee table. She has a very angry expression on her face. Lizzie is Graceila's maid is in her maid outfit with her blonde hair in a bun. Normally Lizzie is a hard worker and has a smile on her face, but not tonight. Detective Sophia is about to start questioning the 3 suspects when Ellie Ellington runs in. She is Graceila's neighbor and is sweet but shy and usually quiet. Ellie has her long brown hair in a ponytail, and she is wearing her striped dress and her favorite pink flats. She has a shocked look on her face and asks Graceila if she can talk to her in the hallway. "Graceila, I saw someone go into your house after you left for the party." Graceila asked, "Do you know who it is?" "All I saw was a shadowy figure," Ellie answered. "You need to tell the detective everything you saw." She grabbed Ellie by the arm and dragged her into the living room, where Detective Sophia was. "Ellie saw who did it!" Everyone gasped. As Ellie tried to hide behind Graceila, Detective Sophia opened her notebook and began to ask questions. "What did the thief look like?" "Well, I know for sure that it was a man." Lizzie began storming toward the door. She turned to the police and she turned to the people in the room and yelled, "I told you I didn't do it." She slammed the door. Now there was only 2 people left. "Well, it has to be Jake. It has to. He hates me," Graceila yelled. Jake stood up in anger, and Detective Sophia noticed how much taller Jake was than David. "Was the thief short or tall?" Detective Sophia asked Ellie. "He was definitely short," she answered. Jake walked toward the door. He turned around and said, "How dare you accuse me of stealing? I'm not a crook. I won't forget this, Graceila. I will have my revenge." He slams the door. All eyes are now on David Decker. "David, how could you? I thought we were friends. Why would you steal something that was so important to me?" Graceila Greelys was practically in tears. David hung his head in shame. He could barely even look at Graceila. "I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I didn't know what else to do. My wife wanted an emerald for her birthday very badly. I went to the jewelry store, but the emeralds were too expensive. Things between my wife and I are really bad. I didn't have an emerald for her. She was going to leave me. I panicked and then I remembered your emerald." "Okay, boys, cuff him and put him in the squad car. The thief is going to jail." As the policemen moved toward David, Graceila yelled, "Wait! Please don't arrest my friend. David, I understand how desperate you were. I will give you the money to buy your wife an emerald." David looked at Graceila in shock with tears in his eyes. "Thank you, Graceila. I can never repay you for the kindness and generosity. You are the best friend anyone could ever have." David and Graceila hugged. "Well, I guess this case is closed," Detective Sophia said as she left the friends and walked out the door. The end.
Mom, what's for dinner?
Really, guys?